The module overview begins immediately after the background notes section and starts by listing the module outcomes. The module outcomes are brief, one-sentence descriptors of what the learners should be able to do by the end of the module. For example, at the end of this module, learners should be able to describe past work experiences. The following pages contain a large table that individually lists the essential skills tasks that learners will practice throughout the module. It also lists which lessons those essential skills tasks are practiced in. For example, if we look at the oral communication section of the table, we can see that in the introduction lesson, learners will practice giving simple descriptions of past jobs to share information with coworkers. Then, in Lesson 3, learners will answer questions from a classmate to explain opinions and give details. This chart lists the same type of information for the essential skills of reading text, document use, writing skills, digital technology, thinking skills, and continuous learning. You may notice that this chart does not contain any tasks that focus on numeracy or working with others. In this case, it is because this particular module does not contain any activities that focus on those skills. If those skills are something that your learners wish to work on, you would likely select a different LinkWorks module to use with them. This chart is useful for instructors that want an overview of which skills are practiced in the module and when they are practiced. It is also useful for part-time instructors and tutors who do not want to teach the entire module, but wish to select the activities that relate to one or two specific tasks. Using this table, the instructors can search for the tasks they want to teach and easily find the lessons they are practiced in, so they can locate the instructions for those tasks and which handouts they should use. For example, if my learners have indicated to me that they wish to improve their email writing skills, I, as the instructor or tutor, should look at the writing skills section of this table. I can see that learners will practice writing emails in Lesson 3 and Lesson 8, and that there is a writing PBLA on this topic as well. I would then scroll down to Lesson 3 and Lesson 8 to find the instructions for teaching these writing activities and to see which handouts I should be prepared to use. A similar table is included for the CLB competencies that are practiced in the module. If an instructor knows that they only want to practice the writing tasks in a specific module, they can use the lesson numbers on the table to find the lessons that focus on writing. The module overview also includes module summary tables, which provide a brief overview of the module activities and the amount of time that instructors or tutors should allot to them. The first table shows the timing, repetitions, and amount of time that instructors should plan to spend on the activities that are common to each module, meaning that these lessons and activities are included in all of the LinkWorks modules. These include the outcomes activity, the vocabulary lesson, the weekly reflection and goals activities, and the introduction, needs assessment, pre-checklist, post-checklist, and post-module reflection lessons. The amount of time is totaled at the bottom of the table as well. The second table gives an overview of the lesson numbers, which language skills are practiced in that lesson, represented by the letters L, S, R, and W for listening, speaking, reading, and writing, the name of the lesson, additional skill building that supports each lesson, and the amount of class time that should be devoted to each lesson, which is totaled again at the bottom of the table. Below this, you will see a table that lists the paper handouts, instructor pages, PowerPoints, and internet links that instructors and tutors will need in order to teach each lesson. For example, to teach Lesson 1, instructors will need to use the handout bar graph, the PowerPoint graphs and charts, as well as 3 additional handouts. Instructors and tutors should see the lesson instructions to determine how many copies will need to be printed out in order to use them properly. The next page has a summary table of the PBLA tasks included in the module. If you are a part-time instructor or tutor, you may wish to skip past this part of the screencast, as you may not be using portfolio-based language assessment in your teaching or tutoring context. For instructors who are using PBLA, this chart gives a summary of the name of each PBLA task, when the task should be administered, and the approximate amount of time that each PBLA task should take. Below this is another table that lists the handouts, PowerPoints, instructor files, and internet links that prepare learners for each individual PBLA task. For example, to prepare learners for the listening assessment, A Baker's Job, instructors should plan to use the lessons, handouts, and files listed in the column beside that task.